The NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Washington Commanders and the Arizona Cardinals, and it's coming up next.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. The kicker, Chad Ryland, has this one teed up. And off we go on EA Sports. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Now a handoff up the middle. Felton. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. It's a first down Washington on a pickup of 18. Third and short, so didn't need much, but got a little extra on the backside. Nice run.
Shoot up the yardage, didn't he? To me, that was offensive line with leverage, good blocking angles, taking on a stacked defensive front. And once they chopped that little hole in the beginning, he took it and rambled.
And just the third play from scrimmage, wanted to avoid the 3-and-out and did just that. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well.
Partner, that's excellent timing right there. Breaking off the route and being able to hit it right when he stops.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Here's second and 10. To throw is Daniels. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Robinson will try to pick it up. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 12 and a Commander's first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Samuel going to go in motion right. And he'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And he is into the end zone for a Commanders touchdown. Deebo Samuel, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play, partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here come the Cardinals, and it is Kyler Murray from Oklahoma who leads them out.
And when you have a guy like Kyler Murray under center, it not only opens up your playbook, it allows you to draw up even more plays because he's among the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the league and a true playmaker. If flushed out of the pocket, he might even be more dangerous. The next step for him, being able to throw on rhythm and deliver from the pocket.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. 2nd and 10. Here's Murray. Pass incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. A give to Robinson on the option. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Again, it's Robinson. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at them right now and say, let's get away from them entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. On the return, Dortch. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Throwing now is Murray, being chased, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dietrich Wise Jr. in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run and, of course, get to the quarterback.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. First carry for James Conner, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Here's Blake Gillikin now. $51 yards on the punt there. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the...
And a loose football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, he was having success there holding on to it on the option, but ultimately problems downfield, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and this is a tough one because you know you'd prefer to have your quarterback either heading to the sidelines or getting down at the end of the play. But you've got an aggressive one. He's fighting for extra yardage, and he gets stripped there. You don't need him to be a hero in that situation. You want your quarterback taking care of himself.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start with the option. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Murray a give. This is Conner. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Murray going to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now Murray. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Trey McBride, the target on that throw, and it's 3rd and 5. Here's Murray. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Cardinals are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target. Able to pick up another first down.
They'll run here with Connor. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on first and goal. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. Still a ways from the end zone as they come up now on second and goal. Snap comes to Murray at 1. And this will be incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Murray now to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The protection up front, very good on that play. Had all night to throw the football, even though he was unsuccessful.
Here's Chad Ryland now on for the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, trailing here in the first half still, but maybe, Charles, that'll help them get some momentum back. First, the forced fumble, and then they're able to get a field goal out of it.
And down in the game, they came out and created their own opportunity on one side of the ball and did get points out of it, as you mentioned. Complimentary football right there as they try and bring this one back to even.
And able to get this out to the 25. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Daniels looking to throw. Open man is Noah Brown. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Now 2nd and 3. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Offensive linemen are famous for doing their job no matter who's carrying the ball. But when they have the confidence that the person carrying it can break off big-time runs, that makes them block just a little bit harder.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throwing now is Daniels. And complete to Zach Ertz. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 3. Here's Daniels. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Back to the ground with Robinson. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Baron Browning from his outside linebacker spot gets him down there for a loss of 4. But you could almost see his eyes light up defensively. I mean, as a linebacker, that's about as quick as you can get to a quarterback.
So what did your 3rd grade teacher teach you about straight lines, right? As soon as you have those, you take full advantage of them. He found a gap in the offensive line, got to the quarterback, and put him on the deck.
They'll try the left side. Felton. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Gay's kick is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. To throw is Murray. Open man is Marvin Harrison Jr. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Cardinals. Marvin Harrison Jr., 64 yards. And the Cardinals are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Chad Ryland now to add the PAT. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The offense on third down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To the air goes Daniels. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Here comes Dortch on the return. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 3. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. And just nowhere to go for Connor. Defense gets to him, and they mark him short. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Blake Gillikin on to punt here as he'll send this one away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better. And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Jayden Thompson picks it, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie. And they start 1st and 10. Sliding out of the pocket. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Murray now, 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Here's Chad Ryland now on for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
So after the field goal, Ryland back out as he'll send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the Washington offense heading out. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands. So right now what I'm seeing an offense just firing off the ball a lot quicker than they can react. And not only that, they're sustaining the blocks too. I'm seeing guys get 6-7 yards downfield before there's even a hint of contact.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Big Calais Campbell fighting through to make the play in the backfield. Now, they were going draw play there. The defense wasn't fooled. They sniffed it out.
I think they're going to have to go back and take a few more acting classes, because that's what a lot of that is. You've got to influence them to think that it's going to be a pass play and have them drop out and maybe the defensive front coming forward and find yourself some space. In this case, no one was fooled and ended up spilling that play pretty well.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Now Daniels. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. He'll start the drive with a give to Connor. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger on 2nd down.
And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And Connor going to pick up a Cardinals 1st down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
I know at times today's NFL sure feels like everything's about the guy throwing the football. But when you've got a guy who can run it and move it and gain this type of yardage, you'll take him each and every time.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw, it's Murray. Caught on the right side by Jones. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 14 yards that time for number 14. Shotgun now for Murray. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 28. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Murray now. This is taken in by McBride. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Murray. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Kyler Murray in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cards will extend their lead here just before halftime. And this drive, Charles, very well timed as they score with very little time remaining in this first half.
And I'm reminded that they get the second half kickoff as well, so they can break this one wide open before the other guys have a chance to possess the football.
Now Ryland for the PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And the play that polished it off was the touchdown run by Kyler Murray. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's second down.
It's not just the offensive linemen and the guys charged with protecting him that take it personally. When the franchise quarterback is dropped on the ground, it runs through the whole organization from the owner all the way down.
It's like every single time he goes down, everyone holds their breath.
Not only do they hold their breath, but they feel the hit as well. They're just trying to think of ways for it not to happen again.
So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
It was a solid first half for the always dangerous Kyler Murray. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line can play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Second and 7. Throwing now is Murray. This complete to Jones. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Third and 4. Play clock hit 0. Don't know what went wrong there, Charles, but it's going to cost them 5 yards.
Has to be some organization from the sideline. Sometimes when you're trying to decide on what play to send in, the play caller has to move a little bit faster.
From the gun, Murray. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
In Washington territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 48-yard line. Running right on the option is Murray. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harrison. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 22-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. On 1st and 10 is Connor. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Murray going to throw. And his throw is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Now Murray. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
You'd hate to come all this way on a sustained drive like this and then have to settle for a field goal. So what a nice pickup on 3rd down. And now they're set up with 1st and goal.
From the gun, a give to Connor. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Once again, it's Connor. And this time he'll get down close to the goal line, but not quite in as he stopped at the 1-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Here's Murray. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Zay Jones from a yard out. And the Cardinals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done. And
slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. First possession of the second half now for Washington. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Daniels. His throw incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. Daniels looking to throw. They'll roll him out right. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now we got whistles before the snap. Looked like one of the Commanders jumped. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Looking to throw. Daniels. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Looks like another empty possession offensively, and you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Cardinals offense and Kyler Murray headed back out onto the field. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
And this is going to be incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Washington ready to try again on offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Off the option, here's Robinson. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Great job of tackling there to prevent the first down.
One of the toughest skills in football, open field tackling. A lot of times one-on-one against a shifty receiver. He got it done in a nice way that time.
Here's Tressway now as he's on for the 5th time here today. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Second and 7 from the 20. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
So they look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Murray now to throw. Flush to his right. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Connor up the middle. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
On play action, it's Murray. Delivers on the crosser to McBride. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st?
Another big play right there. And this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
From Commander's territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. A give running right is Connor. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. Back to throw. Murray. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a 1st. Looking to throw. Murray. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. Blitz came there from the inside, and there just wasn't much resistance.
No, not at all. That means that defensively, They timed it up perfectly and matched up perfectly. They drew all the blockers to the other guys, left a free runner back to the quarterback, and you know what a free runner turns into?
What?
A free hitter.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. He's been terrific so far. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. The Washington offense set to take over. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Brought down by Jaylen Thompson.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Here's Daniels. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. First target, first catch, and a first down. Throwing now is Daniels.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Looking for the out route, and he's got it. It's complete to McCaffrey. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To the air goes Daniels. He's got Brown on the out route complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. Now Daniels. Ertz over the middle. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 38-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Brandon, a lot of times you'll see running backs rotate in and out of the game, whether it's completed pass, a good run, it doesn't matter. Here, not only does he stay in, but they go right back to him, and he makes another nice play. Back-to-back catches.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
2nd and 11. Out route, and it's complete to Brown. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 12-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Debo going in motion left. Robinson up the middle. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Back to throw. Daniels to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Now a 3rd and goal situation as this Arizona defense tries to stand tall once more. Looking to throw. Daniels. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
They'll run for it with Robinson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that, amazingly, a 17-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cardinals offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 63 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down, and he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
This is Connor running right. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Right back to Connor here on first. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there going to take this to about the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. They'll run here with Connor. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Again, a run with Connor. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. James Conner. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Ryland on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Back out is the kicker, Ryland, and he'll send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Commanders' offense and running back Brian Robinson getting set for this next drive. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. And he'll score. Touchdown, Commanders. Noah Brown, 71 yards. And the Commanders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Gay is on for the point after. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Cardinals hands team able to secure the football. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Murray a give. This is Connor. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Connor going to get it again on second down. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And a short gain here down to the 22. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Again, it's Connor. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Here's a handoff to Connor, and he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run behind center with Connor. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. I'm assuming they're keeping this football on the ground, right?
I would think so, because you're looking at the clock. That's in your favor. You look at the geography of the field, right, where you are. That's in your favor as well. Keep it on the ground. Keep pounding. Run that clock down. You got everything working in your direction.
3rd and goal. Here's the option left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Kyler Murray, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
So after the field goal, Ryland back out as he'll send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Well, the holding penalty sets him back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's second down now.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 30. Big yardage that time for Washington. 55 yards.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Throw out wide is incomplete.
I think we can make this one pretty simple. That was a rookie mistake made by the rookie quarterback, trying to force a pass without really using proper mechanics.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Daniel's going to throw for it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. I'd like to be those defensive coaches, though. That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.